Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 14, verse 20. And we're going to dive into some more beautiful realizations and learnings. So let's call out to Krishna and then let's get into the verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us understand this. Please help us access the deepest love within us. Please help us overcome the egos that we have that causes us to act in the ways that we do in the modes of material nature. Please help us surround ourselves with people who are deeply loving, because bhakti hops. And when we see people who are deeply loving, then we get inspired to also be deeply loving. And when we are surrounding ourselves with people who have a lot of ego, then we are also inspired. Association matters so much. We're inspired by that, and we'll also act out in ego. So please help us associate with your books, your Gita. Please help us associate with anything, books, lectures, or whatever, anything, people who will help us grow. And please help us find, or at least me, because I don't have one, but please help me find a guru so that I can make progress, a guru who I completely can trust and who I feel has just 100% love in their heart. So please help me find that person who I can just learn from, who has attained you, and who I can learn from, and who I can be inspired by. Oh. Okay, so let's sing the verse together. गुणातेनात नित्यत्रीन् देहि देह समुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्यु जरा दुःखैर्विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते. When the embodied being, Dehi, he says here, Dehi means embodied, being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from. Oh, I've been forgetting to read the Bhaktivinoda Thakur verses. Okay. He can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. So we have to transcend these three modes. So one can stay in the transcendental position even in this body in full Krishna consciousness. Basically, even in this life, we can become fully Krishna conscious, and we can transcend these three modes, all three modes, including the mode of goodness, right? That's the important thing. He can enjoy the happiness of spiritual life even in this body. Devotional service to Krishna is a sign of liberation from material entanglement. 18th chapter, he's going to explain more about the devotional service. So here basically he's saying transcend the mode of goodness also. It's golden chains. We don't want to be in golden chains. Brahmalok, if we're going like after even if we're in mode of goodness, and we'll go to Brahmalok, but that's part of this universe and it will be disentangled. And when we have burned off our good karma, there we are again, we get back to our normal thing. So we need to keep on really stressing on getting to transcend all of these modes, including the mode of goodness. So I'm going to give an example at the end of something that I learned recently that is extremely powerful, I think, and that's all this is very difficult to implement, difficult to get over the ego, but extremely powerful. Okay, so when one transcends the three modes, then Maya no longer binds the living being. Thus, the soul gets released from the cycle of life and death and attains immortality. I mean, we are immortal anyways, but we just don't come back into this. We don't get illusioned by the Maya anymore. We don't get illusioned by this modes of material nature. the illusory experience is against the eternal nature of the soul, which seeks release from it. It's discomforting to our inner being. So, okay, and okay, let me read this before I forget that. So, it's 20. By steadiness on the Nirguna platform, the embodied Jiva transcending these three modes of Nirguna means none of the gunas, none of the three gunas, none of the modes of material nature, Sattva, Raja, and Tama, become free from the miseries produced by the body, such as birth, death, old disease, etc., old age disease, etc. He remains situated in experiencing nectarian transcendental prem. So we can transcend even when we're in this body. um, Yeah, okay. So the example that I was talking about, let me, um, the example that I was talking about was this. Right? So we want to get to a place, the goal we want to get to is a place where we're not, our actions are not influenced by what other people are doing. Right? I mean, they are going to be influenced by what other people are doing, of course, to whatever we're responding to society. I'm not saying that we're not responding, but let's say our love feelings are not dependent on that. So whether people treat us well or not, our love does not decrease or change, right? So I think I have talked about this, haven't I? Yeah. Maybe I have already talked about it in one of the videos. I forget sometimes what have I said and what have I not spoken. But okay, let me talk about it in brief. So we want to be like, okay, this person is not giving us credit for the help that we've given. This person is demanding. This person is taking us for granted. This person wants us to be, is emotionally attacking us when we're not helping at their convenience. This person is doing all kinds of things, right? Like this person is not treating us in the way that we want to be treated and in the way that we believe that we should be treated. But in the temple, what happens in the temple is, maybe I've not spoken about it. I'm so confused. So what happens in the temple, what we're taught in the temple is that we're giving to people no matter what. The temple every day in the evening in our temple here in Seattle, we're giving free prasad. On the weekends, all day long, we're giving free prasad, right? So every day, all day, I mean, every day in the weekdays, all day on the weekends, we're giving free prasad. Now, I went to the temple. I used to go to the temple just for the free prasad many times. I'll still go, but I don't feel that way. In the beginning, I would go and I would feel guilty. Even though people would say, no, you don't feel guilty. It's okay. Everything is good. I would still feel guilty. But I was going there just for purely selfish reasons. I don't want to cook. I'm not feeling like cooking, or I'm not, this will save me money, or whatever. I would go for that reason, that it's like, I'm getting free prasad, free food. I mean, who wouldn't want free food, right? At that time, it wasn't even so much, in the beginning, it wasn't even so much this understanding of prasad being spiritualized. It was just like, yeah, I'm getting free food. Now, my intentions were purely selfish, but the people that were serving me were serving with a pure heart. They were not serving with this thing that, um, I'm not going to serve selfish people. I'm only going to serve devotees. That's not how the temple works. No matter what the intention of the person is, no matter how selfish the intention of the person is who's coming into the temple, we are serving them, and we are serving them with a full heart. Like, yes, we want to serve you because it makes us feel good to serve you. People who are donating money for the food that is being served, people who are cutting the vegetables for the food, people who are ordering the food, cutting vegetables, cooking, all of that. We are serving, or actually serving all of those people. There's so many people involved in that. All of them have this heart. No matter what the reason the person is coming to, we are going to serve them because it is going to make us happy to give prasadam, to spiritualize, to help this other person become spiritual, more spiritual, right? So that is and it's going to make Krishna happy. We're doing this because we want to make Krishna happy. We don't care about what is happening to us, what our yeah, I mean, we don't care about anything, right? Like, we're like, okay, we just want to make Krishna happy, so we're doing it just like that. So many people are doing that in the temple every day, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. People are serving like that, totally unconditional. So when we are going through this, where we are feeling resentful towards somebody, and we're like, okay, we're being taken for granted here, we're totally, and it's true, I'm not saying that it may not be true, it may be totally true, but irrespective of what the person's intention is, we can still hold love in our heart. So we can get to a place where giving to this person gives us joy, even if we know that the person's intention is not good. So that's the concept of discernment versus judgment. We can discern and understand this person's intentions are at the moment just very selfish, and we can hold the judgment. We can have the intellect. Discernment comes from intellect, like we understand, the brain tells us, yes, this is what is going on, and there is still love in our heart. We do not judge and say, oh, because judgment is just a way of saying, I am better than you. See, you are doing this, I am not doing this, I am a better person than you, which means that I will be chosen for love before you. I will be loved. I'm more lovable than you are, because we are all craving love. We're desperately craving love. All of us, every single one of us, all of these problems that we're having in life are coming because we are craving love. So all of this judgment is happening because we want to prove ourselves more lovable, more worthy of love. We want to know that we are going to be, and because we're looking for love all around us, right? So it's like when we judge other people, then we can put them down and we can be happy that we are going to be loved more before them. So if we get to a place, when we get to a place that we hold the judgment, we can understand the situation and say, I am going to love you anyways, I am going to give to you anyways, and it's going to give me joy to help you. Now we may not be there, I'm not there right now. Right now I'm setting boundaries and I'm like, I'm feeling very this thing that this person is, taking me for granted. Right now I'm there. But when I have this intention, very clear intention, I want to get to this place where I want to just love no matter what, no matter how the other person is treating me. I want to love because my joy comes in loving, my joy comes in giving. My joy does not come in withholding or judging or whatever. It does not, it will not take me beyond these modes of material nature, right? Like that's probably, I don't know, mode of ignorance or passion at best, to withdraw and withhold because I'm not. But this is where we are right now. But when we get to this place that I want to, so this is the story of Radhanath Maharaj. He went to this. He had so many travels, right? In his book, The Journey Home. So in one of the his journeys, he went to this cave where this person was living, like renunciant was living, and there was this lady, this woman, who would bring him 3 rotis every day, and that's all he would eat. That person, when Radhanath Maharaj came and lived with him, that person would give Radhanath Maharaj all 3 rotis every day. He would go hungry day after day after day. He was just going hungry, and Radhanath Maharaj would protest like mad. He was like, "No, I can't do this. What are you talking about?" But that guy insisted so much. He was like, "You are doing me a favor by allowing me to serve you," and he meant it with so much heart. And he's going hungry. Like that's the ultimate story in my head. I keep thinking about, that's the ultimate story. Like you're going literally, physically, you're going hungry so that you can feed somebody else, so that you can serve somebody else. So if somebody can be there, then imagine, like, isn't it possible for us to be like that with just giving emotional help? So yeah, we may not be there, and it's okay. No beating ourselves up for not being there right now. Absolutely not. This is where we are. We've got, I don't know, a gazillion lifetimes of anarthas that have brought us here. It's not gonna be, it's okay if it doesn't go overnight. If it goes overnight, that's great, but it's okay if it takes time. It's okay for us to be there, be at the place where we are. It's okay for us to not want to be treated like that. But when we have this very clear goal that we want, like we want to get to the place, because this is how to attain Krishna, to have no ego, amanina manadena, to have no ego, to have no desire for respect, to have no desire for credit, to have no desire for anything, but to be able to give respect to other people because it brings us joy. To have that clear goal. And when we go to the temple, we build our consciousness slowly. Because when we're doing service in the kitchen and we're just serving prasadam to people, then it's building our consciousness. Slowly, slowly, it's building our consciousness. It's helping us to be able to get into that consciousness where we're serving no matter what the intention of the person being served is. We know that many times the intention of the person is just like, I just want food because I don't want to do it on my own, right? Like, I don't want to cook on my own, I don't, whatever the reasons might be. But we are serving everybody who comes in. The consciousness is so high that even if there is no food, right, like sometimes there'll be a little bit of kheer, and we'll just give 1 spoon of kheer. Yeah, you should have prasadam, you should have something, you should have a spiritual benefit from this. That's how incredible, that's how absolutely incredible it is to go to the temple and absorb that consciousness. And so okay, so there are 2 aspects of it, right? One is that when we eat prasadam ourselves, then our spiritual consciousness raises on its own. Because not on its own, like Krishna gives it to us, because we're eating spiritualized food. We're not eating regular food, we're eating spiritualized food. And that food, first of all, has no karma, because we are killing plants and all kinds of insects and animals when in the process of growing the food, cooking the food, all of that. So all of that karma, and so all of that karma is removed, first of all. But forget about the karma. We're not doing this for the karma, we're doing this because we love God, right? Krishna prem is our goal. We want to get to a place of loving God. So when we're eating food that God has eaten already, and then when we're eating it, it's becoming spiritualized and it's purifying our heart. So that's a spiritual aspect. So let's say we don't even go through the spiritual aspect. We don't even believe the spiritual aspect too so much. We don't have that much faith in the spiritual aspect that eating prasadam is actually going to purify us. Leaving that aside, on a very logical, practical, emotional level, when we are bringing ourselves to give to people, no matter what their intention are towards us, when we are giving unconditionally, when we're loving unconditionally, when we're serving unconditionally, when we're cooking unconditionally for people, right? Even in our homes, when we're cooking dinner for people, we want people to come and give us some kind of respect, right? Like, or tell us that the food was good, or give us just some kind of respect, at least, like that we expect that. But at the temple, we don't. So when we're building our consciousness, when we're building it in that way, then that nectar of that love, unconditional love, will seep in to the rest of our day as well. It will seep into the rest of our life. It will seep into those other moments as well. Like, okay, if I can do that at the temple and serve unconditionally and love unconditionally in that moment, why can't I do that here? So yeah, that's the powerfulness of going to the temple, of building that. So we're taking ourselves up these modes of material nature through that process. Okay, yeah, that's it for this video. We'll do chapter 14 verse 21, I believe, in the next video. Let me just make sure. Yes, 21 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots and lots and lots and lots of real love that gets you to Krishna. Like, genuine, deep love that has no ego. Like, I wish you the ability to get to that as fast as you can, as fast as our body will allow it. Like, so because our body will stop us. This is the intensity of Maya, intensity of the modes of material nature. Our body will stop us and say, no, this is not right. This is very much not right. This is not okay. We should not be accepting that from people. We should not be accepting this kind of treatment from people. Yes, at the moment we are not there, and we should not push ourselves to do something where we're not, because we're going to burn out so fast if we do that. But yeah, let's pray that we get there, so that we can, and it's not so that we can get out of this, even modes of material nature, is not so that we can get out of this misery and ocean of misery and all of that. Not even for that, just so that we can love, so that we can learn how to love, because we crave to love more than we crave to be loved. We crave to love so desperately. So yeah, um, pull that out of yourselves, and wish you a lot of Krishna's grace in attaining that. Radhe Radhe.